Yo, what is going on, guys? Got a wild video for you here today. This is something that was sent to me. It is a woman who has been on 73 dates. That is right, 73 dates. And now she is on here complaining that she is still single. Apparently, she doesn't have a roster. She doesn't have a bunch of men. It is just difficult for her to date. So let's jump into it and see why that might be the case. Guys, don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Let's take a listen.
I have been on 73 dates in 2024. I am still single with no roster to show for it, but I thought it'd be a fun little treat to go through my top 10 worst dates of 2024 because boy, do I have some stories.
Yeah, so first of all, this isn't a treat. Second of all, anybody who goes on 73 dates, I would argue probably has a little bit of a problem, especially if you're a woman, guys. Like, to put this in perspective, most dudes, even if they tried, couldn't go on 73 dates. Like, they just couldn't do it. Dudes don't even get 73 matches total on any dating applications. Oftentimes when they go and approach women, they're treated like trash. You know the drill, guys. 73 dates is more than the average man could even get over an extended period of time. Okay, a lot of guys won't even go on 73 dates in their entire life, and this woman can't even make it work, man. Absolutely crazy.
Worst dates of 2024 because boy, do I have some stories. On the 10th day of Christmas where men had the audacity. Starting off this series strong with a man that I should not have gone on more than one date with, but I went on, I think it was like 4 dates with. I literally only went on so many dates because he was rich. His great something grandfather signed the Constitution, so he was old money to the gods.
Right, so this woman, first terrible date story apparently. The only reason that she dated this guy and she went on multiple dates with him was because he had a bucket load of money, because this guy was incredibly rich. Guys, I've said this before, okay? If a dude is highly attractive, or if he brings something that she really wants, like a load of money, for example, they will tolerate a whole bunch of nonsense from men. They absolutely will. You can have a guy who has a bunch of money or is really good looking, string a woman on for absolutely ages. She will continue to try and lock him down over very long periods of time, especially if she's, you know, if she's pushing higher in age and she is looking for a man to look after her. A lot of women will be absolutely drawn to dollars as they go into their 30s. But this is very funny to me. So the only reason that she dated this dude was because he was rich. Imagine you actually get a relationship with this woman and you figure out the only reason she was interested in you was because you had some money. Ridiculous, man.
Signed the Constitution, so he was old money to the gods. On our first date, he spent like, I think it was like $2,000. It was something ridiculous on omakase, and he would always buy like the most expensive bottle of wine. And since we were both like pretty young looking, the whole staff would like come out and like ask us questions and stuff. Like, I don't know, I'm just here with them. But what made him so awful was that he smelt so bad. And I feel bad saying it, but like it was the worst BO of anyone that I've ever been with. So on our first day, I could obviously smell it, but I was like, you know what? Everyone has off days. I have my days. Like maybe he just like is smelling bad. I don't know. Which, by the way, he would use ChatGPT to plan all of our dates, which at least he was trying. On our first day, I mentioned I wanted to go to a paint and pour and go to a rooftop that had Italian food.
Holy hell, this woman is insufferable, guys. So apparently the dude, his main issue was that he smelled bad. Okay, couldn't just mention this to him. You have to make a whole TikTok video about it. And again, guys, like if you had a dude who wasn't rich or highly attractive, I can guarantee you this guy would just be ditched pretty much immediately. Right, so he smells bad, but he has a lot of money, and so what does she do? She decides to date him and then start listing the things that she wants to do for a date. I want to go to a rooftop place that specifically serves Italian. Like, this woman thinks she's a princess or something. Like, people are supposed to be like, yes, your highness, let's just go to this very specific thing. I don't know why men put up with this nonsense in dating, gentlemen, right? Like, you have these women who are clearly insufferable, who go on like 73 dates, and yet they're demanding that men take them to specifically Italian rooftop restaurants. Get the hell out of here. I think a lot of particularly older guys, right, and men with self-respect would listen to this and they'd be like, yeah, no, thank you. When women start demanding this crap from you, especially on the first date, that is a sign to just turn around and run away. You want to go to an Italian restaurant, you can take yourself to the Italian rooftop restaurant.
Say I mentioned I wanted to go to a paint and pour and go to a rooftop that had Italian food. Our second date, he planned a paint and pour to a paint and pour place I've never been to, and it was really good. Then he took me to a rooftop with an Italian dinner at the rooftop. So like he was great at planning the dates, but then every single time would make sure to let me know, yeah, I just typed this into ChatGPT, like it just told me what to do. So like there was effort, but like, I don't know, but at least he was planning things.
You gotta love how modern women just make an issue out of everything, by the way. So despite the fact that she was taken to this like paint and pour thing, I don't know what the hell that is. She was also taken to an Italian rooftop restaurant. Apparently she has an issue with it because the guy figured out these locations by using ChatGPT. As far as I'm concerned, that's probably a good idea. But because the date, get this, she was taken to exactly the places she wanted to go by this man, that apparently his methodology for coming to find out about those places and where they were and where to go, she didn't like that, so she'll make an issue out of this. This is exactly what I'm saying, guys. Like, if women are not actually attracted to you, they will just make an issue out of whatever behavior you have. You know, yes, you did this kind, nice, grateful, great gesture for her. You paid for her date. You took her to these places that are fancy, whatever. But because you didn't do it in the very specific type of way that she wanted you to do it, it's a problem. I guarantee you, if this dude was highly attractive, she'd be like, wow, he was so smart for doing that. You know, what a smart guy using technology. Crazy.
And I remember on our paint and pour date, I was so embarrassed because we were sitting in the very front of the class and you could just smell him. And you're really close to people around you in the paint and pour. And I was like, everyone either thinks I smell or they're like, why the heck is that girl with this guy that smells so bad? Like, you must have terrible friends if you smell this bad and you've lived your whole life, your friends, your family. Like, my parents would have been like, you smell, get some deodorant, we need to get you new deodorant or something. I don't even think he put on deodorant. And I tried because he was rich. I could see the future. Like, I was like, I want this. He was showing me how Elton John came and privately performed at their house. I am the biggest Elton John fan ever. So I was like, I can see, like, I was like, So I looked in his like cabinets at his apartment and I saw he had deodorant. He actually had 2 bottles, like tubes of deodorant. And then I didn't see he had any cologne. I was like, ooh, this is like a good. And I asked him, I was like, hey, do you like have any cologne or anything that like maybe like I can spray? I was like always trying to play it off, trying to be super nice. And he was like, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do cologne until I'm like an old man. I was like, babes, you gotta start right now. Like, you have to start right now. He would like shower. He would get out of the shower. I like came into the scene too late. It was like seeped into all of his clothes. Like, you would open up his like wardrobe and you would just like smell the stench. And it was like a BO stench. He must have just not been washing his clothes. Like, I don't know. It was like seeping through his pores or something.
Yeah, as far as I know, this could be a genetic thing. I'm not really sure. Maybe it's like a, I don't know. I've heard about dudes having something to do with this, right? That just makes them sweat profusely and things like this. But here's the thing. Notice how she's totally willing to keep trying with this guy because he has a bucket load of money. Right, I guarantee you, again, if this dude didn't have anything, the only reason this woman is there in the first place is because this dude has money. If he didn't have money, or if it was a different man and he wasn't highly attractive, this woman would have been gone ages ago. But what's she looking at? She's not looking at the guy. She's just looking at what he represents and what her future might look like. Well, if I go with this guy, then that means my life is sorted. I can just stay with him for a few years, try and get married to him. And then, hey, maybe afterwards I can just divorce him and take a lot of that fortune for myself. They don't actually give a damn about the individual person. a lot of the times. It's really quite sad, guys. Like, so many of these women on TikTok, they just don't actually care about the men that they're dating, and then they wonder why dudes aren't interested in them on any sort of emotional level, right? We'll start to see videos about how men lack emotional intelligence and all of this stuff. Do you ever consider that maybe dudes don't want to open up to you because they end up becoming TikTok videos, or because you rant about them to your friends and so on? They don't actually think about this. Like, again, imagine if you were dating this woman in the future and you come across her TikTok account and you see videos like this where she has gone on 73 dates to different dudes, and she rants about them and tells horror stories apparently about them. I guarantee you, by the way, a lot of this woman's quote-unquote horror stories were probably also men rejecting her, and so she has to make up situations when she goes back and talks about it.
And the fact that I went on 4 dates with him is crazy. But I was like, if I can just make him smell good, he's like a decent dude. I don't know, he was kind of weird. He had this thing with his like baby blanket, which I'm a stuffed animal. Like, I'm all about letting your inner child flourish as an adult. Like, I don't care if you have a baby blanket at all, but he had this thing where he always, like, he would put it in my mouth. No, like, no. The first time the thing touched me, I was like, I know if you're not washing your clothes, you've never washed that thing. Like, that has dust from, like, and it could have Elton John's dust on it, though, if it was at the concert. I don't know. That is when I drew the line. That was the last time I saw him. I got my free brunch, I got my Uber from him, and then I peacefully exited. So that was number 10. My plan for this series is to post a new dating story every single day for 10 days. I just made the list of all the stories starting from like 10, the worst, to 1, the worst of the worst. And
can you guys imagine, like, just imagine doing this with your day at some point, right? A lot of guys don't even go on this many dates, but what kind of person do you have to be to make a TikTok series, right? People ask me, they're like, Taylor, how do you not run out of videos? The answer to that is there's never any lack of videos. Women just post videos like this all day, every day, man. Every day there's thousands of new videos exactly like this one. But imagine what kind of person you have to be in order to make a video like this in the first place, where you start detailing these experiences that you've had out there in dating. You know what happens, by the way, when men have awful experiences in dating? They don't like to publicly share it, especially with their face attached to it. You know what I mean? They're not on here making TikTok videos about how they're crying and stuff. I mean, dudes might share their experiences if it's relevant to a conversation, and if they're, you know, specifically asked about it a lot of the time. But women just jump on the internet and they make these things into video series, right? Where they think that people actually give a damn. It is absolutely crazy to me. This is something that is just so far beyond my understanding as to what a normal person would actually do.
stories starting from like 10, the worst, to 1, the worst of the worst. And these stories are actually insane. I forgot a lot of these happened. I've been tracking throughout the year just so I could do my end of the year dating compilation, like for my friends.
What the hell? So this woman, if you go on a date with her, right? Or if you, I don't know, she's dating you or whatever the case may be, she adds you to a list if you are quote unquote a bad date, and she shares all of these experiences with her friends. This is ridiculous. This is women, like, you know, I saw a video the other day where a woman was complaining that men have gamified dating. And that's true. A lot of the top percentage guys, you know, they really don't give a damn. They're out here matching with a lot of women, funneling them through, having their fun, and then dipping. Women have certainly gamified dating as well. Like, let's not get it confused here. Okay, a lot of women are doing crap like this, and then they wonder why dudes don't actually open up to them, or why men don't want to take them out on dates and all of this. Dudes don't want to be a part of your list. Okay, they don't want to be shared publicly as to a dating experience that you've had.
These happen. I've been tracking throughout the year just so I could do my end of the year dating compilation, like for my friends. But the stories this year are just too good to not share. So stay tuned for the next 10 days. I'm also going on like 3 dates this week. So maybe something will happen in those that will take the top of the list.
Holy hell. That is so disgusting. So not only has this woman been on, 73 dates, she's actually just continuing to go out on dates as well. Like, she is still actively continuing building her list here. Now, I want to mention at the start of this video, she says that oh, I don't have a roster. Now, if you don't know what a roster is, I don't blame you. It's disgusting. Basically, she's referring to a rotation of men that she sleeps with. And I just want to make it clear that I don't believe her. I think that women who do this, they do have men that they are sleeping with. You know, like women like to pretend like they've been on 73 different dates, but somehow they're still celibate and they're not seeing any man in a casual setting. It's completely a lie. They're not out there on Sundays reading the Bible. All right. Let's continue on to this next clip here. This one is apparently a woman getting ghosted by a man who is 5'8". You know, I don't know why the hell they have to bring a dude's height into it, but hey, let's jump into it. Guys, again, don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Let's take a listen.
Silence because I got ghosted by a 5'8" man. So this guy was super adamant on taking me out on a date, which I was like, all right, let's go, I guess. I'm not really in the mindset of dating anybody, but I was like, let's just see how it goes.
Just by the way, she is in the mindset of dating people. It's just this dude wasn't super attractive to her. Again, if the dude was attractive, she would absolutely jump at the opportunity to have a date with this man. But because, in her own words, I assume, the man is 5'8", she wasn't exactly excited about the whole situation.
I'm not really in the mindset of dating anybody, but I was like, let's just see how it goes. I went on the date and I could tell that he was super nervous, which was kind of cute. I was also really nervous because this was my first date after a long-term relationship, and I was like, I don't even know why I'm here, really.
Let me get this straight. This woman got out of a long-term relationship, and literally the next day, she went on a date with a dude. Oh my goodness. Wow, I wonder why dudes don't want to date modern women, right? Imagine this, guys. You're in a long-term relationship with a woman, maybe a wife or something like this, and then your relationship ends, and literally the next day, she is out here on a date with another man. It just, you know what men think when they hear this? Number one, yeah, it would hurt a little bit, right? But number two, the dudes are going to feel absolutely disgusted, and a lot of them are going to think to themselves, excuse me, why would you not just remove this? This is a really good justification as to why you shouldn't be in a relationship with her anyway. You know, like, let's just say you break up with a woman and she does this. That probably means that you made absolutely the correct decision. If she's out here dating a man the next day, she is not relationship material at all anyway. A lot of these, particularly Western women, are just not dateable men. You break up with them one day or they break up with you, and before you know it, literally the next day, she's out here dating another man. And apparently dudes are the ones who are like emotionally insensitive. What's the word? Emotionally unintelligent and things like this. Get the hell out of here. I've noticed this is something that modern women really often do, guys, is they actually have these dudes lined up before they leave the previous ones anyway. It's ridiculous.
A long-term relationship, and I was like, I don't even know why I'm here, really. After the date, he walked me back to where my friends were. He was like, I would love to do this again. I would love to take you to Carbone. I was like, all right, let's go to Carbone. Like, I'm down. And I got home and I was thinking, I'm like, I don't really like this guy. Like, we're not on the same vibe. He's really nice, but like, I wasn't like in love with him, which I did not want to be. So
yeah, so here's what happened. This dude taking her out to probably expensive places or places she really wanted to go, and she thought to herself, well, he's only 5'8", but at least he's taking me out on dates to places I really want to go. And so when women say this crap like, oh, we're not on the same vibe, or there just wasn't a connection there, or there wasn't chemistry, what they're essentially saying oftentimes is either the dude's too short, his face isn't good enough looking, and so on. Women just switch these words out, and this is why so many guys, they go into dating and they don't understand what's really going on, is because women like to use very, very vague terminology like this, so it doesn't make them look bad when they're actually describing what the hell is going on. You know, they're like, well, the connection's not really there, but the translation is that this man is 5'8", and she wants a dude who's at least 6 foot.
Carbone, like, I'm down. And I got home and I was thinking, I'm like, I don't really like this guy. Like, we're not on the same vibe. He's really nice, but like, I wasn't like in love with him, which I did not want to be. So honestly, at the end of the day, it worked out for me. After, he was like, I had a really great time, and he just never answered my text. kind of wanted some feedback. Like, what did I do wrong? Like, did I say something wrong? Like, I don't know. I was just kind of like bugging a little bit, even though I was gonna ghost him. Literally did not care at all because, like I said, I was gonna ghost him anyways. I just didn't really feel like we were vibing. A month goes by and I'm at a bar in Hoboken. The bar was super packed because there was a football game playing, and I accidentally bumped into this person. And I turn around and it was him. You will literally not believe what he said to me. Part 2.
Yeah. Look, here's the thing, madam. I don't think I'm really interested in watching part 2. What the hell did I just click on? So this woman right here, she's pissed off about him ghosting her, but she was just going to ghost him anyway after she used him for free dates. Like, this is just the logic of a lot of modern women these days, guys, unfortunately, is they only start to give a damn about the dudes, right, when the dudes just walk away from them first. It's so stupid. These people, they behave like, I don't know, high school children. It's really quite disgusting. Guys, we're going to be leaving it there. As always, don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Make sure you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next one. Peace.